Well, well, well. Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea 0, Manchester City 1 game. That didn't go well. That didn't go to plan now, did it? But starting off with the lineup, getting into the review straight away. The lineup was, I got the formation right, but there was one change that I really didn't expect. It was Thibaut Courtois in goal. The back three were actually Antonio Rudiger, Andreas Christensen and Gary Cahill, and Azpilicueta started at wing-back, at right wing-back, rather than at the right centre-back spot where he usually plays. Marcos Alonso stayed in the side as the left wing-back. Three central midfielders, Bakayoko, N'Golo Kante, and Cesc Fabregas, and the front two were Eden Hazard and Morata. You know, when I saw the lineup, I thought, it's a rather cautious approach, isn't it? You know, because like it went so well against Atletico, you really want to change it. You really want to play Rudiger and Christensen together against Man City. And at that point, I was already doubting my 3-2 prediction, which obviously clearly didn't come off. But yeah, I mean, getting into the game, and the first chance of the game was actually a Chelsea chance in the 3rd minute, when a cross by Azpi came to Morata, who didn't connect with the ball properly and headed it over the bar. At the beginning, we were definitely happy for City to have the ball and set back a little bit to start off with. But we started to press a bit more as the game went on, but still let them have the ball, basically. The first real chance for Manchester City, the first real shot on goal anyway, came only in the 29th minute, but it was a fairly easy save for Courtois. And then in the 35th minute, happened what probably made us have such a poor game after that. Because in the 35th minute, Alvaro Morata had to come off. It looks like, you know, it's his hamstring that was bothering him. Pulled his hamstring maybe. But Willian came on for him. And that was very surprising to me at the time. I think he was the one to come on rather than Michy Batshuayi because of the way we played. And because we needed pace and runs in behind. And Michy just doesn't offer that. But, and I'll get to that, clearly didn't work now, did it? Especially because when Willian came on, he was clearly not warmed up properly. Because he came on and couldn't complete the pass to save his life. Even the easiest of passes, I don't know what he was doing. Then the 45th minute, we got fairly lucky just before half-time with an unbelievable save of Thibaut Courtois. After Manchester City corner, Fernandinho was running onto it, connected perfectly with his head from 6-7 yards out. And Courtois somehow got his hands to the ball. It was fairly central, the header, but Courtois had to get his hands up very quickly. So that was a good save, and we went into half-time with 0-0. And I was fairly happy with how things went until Morata had to come off. But after that, wasn't also happy with it. City only did get dangerous with that after that corner just before half-time. But if you're being very strict with it, we didn't get dangerous at all. Yes, you had that header by Morata in the 3rd minute, but it was like fairly comfortably over for the keeper. Like the keeper didn't have to react. So first half was okay, but not great, especially after Morata came on and completely shifted the game. Like, the start of the game was fairly equal with us letting Manchester City have the ball, what it looked like to me anyway. But as soon as Morata was off, it just shifted, and City played and played and played, and we just sat back deeper and deeper and deeper, and it just wasn't working for us. And the start of the second half, basically the same thing. City completely on top. We couldn't even keep the ball far enough away from our own goal just to take a breather. You know, it was poor. But then the first actual chance in the second half was by Chelsea. Again, through Eden Hazard in the 61st minute. After Cesc Fabregas played a free kick, say 25 yards from goal. Short to Hazard, out wide just inside the box. Hazard had a shot on his weaker left foot. From a fairly tight angle to be fair, but the keeper saved it well. After that, City got stronger and stronger and stronger. 66th minute, massive block by Alonso after City completely carved us wide open. And Silva basically was about to score, but Alonso thankfully blocked the shot. Didn't help for much though, because just a minute later, Kevin De Bruyne, Chelsea reject Kevin De Bruyne, made it 1-0. City just played through our midfield. It's difficult to blame anyone for that because they just played it so well, and Fabregas couldn't keep up with De Bruyne's pace. And then Morata just had a shot from outside the box on his weaker left foot as well. And what a belter that was. It was like the scream of the century, but what a shot that was. Into the far corner. No way Courtois was ever going to save that. And well, that was 1-0. Not long after that, in the 72nd minute, Pedro came on for Eden Hazard, who looked absolutely knackered. Obviously, you know, he just came back from injury, played basically the full game against Atletico. You know, he started again today. It was to be expected that he wasn't going to be able to play the full game. But yeah, he looked absolutely knackered. And also Batshuayi came on for Bakayoko, obviously switching from the 3-5-2 to our more standard 3-4-3. But as it happened, the team changed completely. They changed immediately. As soon as the subs came on and the formation changed. The look on the players' faces just changed. You know, the way they look, the body stature just changed. We were a bit more confident all of a sudden. And without Morata, the 3-5-2 clearly didn't work. Maybe with Mishi it would have done, but with Willian it clearly didn't. Then in the 78th minute, played it nicely, played it around, crossed it over to Alonso, but then played it backwards to Cahill. Actually played a really nice ball, crossfield to Azpilicueta on the far right-hand side. Just inside the box, Aspi took the ball first time, tried to cross it into Batshuayi, was completely free in the middle of the box. Sadly, Azpilicueta didn't connect with the ball properly, didn't pull off the best of crosses, because Ederson, the keeper of Manchester City, managed to intercept the cross. It wasn't a real chance, but if, the cross came off, that would have been a goal. So, not a real chance, but it was fairly close. And that immediate change I was on about, just a minute earlier, when we changed formation and the subs came on, well, that didn't last very long. Because basically after that kind of half chance when Aspi's cross didn't come off, City were on top again. Then the last thing that really happened in that game was in the 82nd minute, a massive, massive block. Basically on the line by Antonio Rudiger after Gabriel Jesus, wherever you pronounce it, had already beaten Courtois. Was a nice cross to him. He was completely on his own on the far post. Jesus took it first time on the volley. Very nice try, that. Fair play to him. But Rudiger was on the line. Didn't really change anything because, we would have lost either way. That was the last thing that really happened in that game. Full time, obviously 1-0 loss to Manchester City at Stamford Bridge. And I'm talking about the performance. It was okay, in my opinion, until Morata had to come off. But after that, I'm sorry. It was dreadful. It was just dreadful. Bringing Willian on for Morata was clearly a mistake, by Conte. Because we did nothing, and I mean nothing, going forward from open play until Batshuayi and Pedro came on. Well, starting Azpilicueta instead of Moses or Zappacosta as the right wing-back too cautious. Aspi didn't exactly provide a lot of width. He stayed back a lot, although when he did go forward, his crosses were fairly decent. But was it too cautious? It might have been. Maybe we would have put Manchester City under more pressure if we had, for example, Victor Moses in that spot. You just pressure them more because sometimes attack is just the best defence. Because, yes, we defended all right. We only conceded one, which against Manchester City, who scored 16 goals in the last 3 Premier League games, including Liverpool, is okay. But, we didn't do much going forward. We had no, say, sitters. No real chances I was like, oh, we really should have scored there. So it's interesting how the 3-5-2 worked so well against Atletico Madrid, so well, well, not particularly well against Manchester City, even when Morata was on. Like I said, we defended all right, although a lot of last-ditch defending as well, so not perfect defending. We managed to keep them from scoring more than one, but it wasn't the perfect defensive, performance. But you could see how our players, especially the midfielders, were tired in the second half. In my opinion, you could see that extra day's rest that Manchester City had over us. Obviously, Manchester City playing in the Champions League on Tuesday at home and us playing in the Champions League on Wednesday away in Madrid. And that isn't an excuse. It's just fact. They had one more day rest, It's just a fact. Because we basically had to start the exact same players to start against Atletico. Obviously, with David Luiz suspended, we changed that. And we changed, our approach a little bit by taking Moses off for Azpilicueta. But we just don't have the depth to change a lot. And me saying that Michy Batshuayi isn't good enough to be Morata's backup when he's injured proved right today. Conte didn't even bring him on when Morata had to come off. I explained the reasons earlier why I think Conte did that. But, it just shows that Batshuayi doesn't offer what Morata does, and we only have 2 strikers. We're in trouble here. We need another striker. It's not good. Obviously, we don't know how long Morata will be out for. Hopefully, we'll be back against Crystal Palace after the international break. It didn't look that serious. It looked like he basically came off before he made it a lot worse. So it could just be a week or 10 days until he can start training again. Could obviously be 2, could be 3 weeks. You never know. It's difficult to judge on these hamstring injuries. But yeah, it wasn't particularly great. Actually, it was the first time that we didn't score for 2 consecutive league home games since 2012. 2012. That's 5 years ago. That's a while. That's a long while. Obviously, 2-0 against Arsenal, and now we lost 1-0 to Man City. And actually, it's the first time ever in Conte's career that his teams didn't score for 2 consecutive league home games. But yeah, I don't really know what to say. Obviously, I am very disappointed. Like I said, in my preview, beating Atletico made me very confident. Maybe a bit overly confident. Maybe that's what happened to the team as well. I don't know. Like I said, I think Conte didn't get it spot on today. There were some things that I would have done very differently, especially bringing Willian on for Morata, not playing a striker when you just play 3-5-2. Just when you're not on the ball and just can play that nice, sexy football that, when we beat Bournemouth 3-0 last year at the Bridge, you can play Hazard and Willian and Pedro up front, because you can just pass it around. But when you just hit them on the counter, you need some guy to actually play the long balls that will actually win them long balls. Because Hazard and Willian are not going to win headers against John Stones and Otamendi, are they? So there are things that he didn't get right, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, just get back up again and upwards and onwards. But yeah, leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Do you agree with me that Conte got a few things wrong today? Bringing on Willian for Morata when he had to come off, starting Aspilicueta as the right wing back, starting Christensen and Rudiger together, although they both had decent games in my opinion, especially Christensen was very good. But yeah, any other thoughts you have, leave it down in the comment section below as well. Leave a like if you did enjoy the video, subscribe if you haven't already, check out my social media, which you can see over here, last1507 on Instagram and Twitter, massively appreciated if you follow me there. Thank you guys for watching, like I said, upwards and onwards, up to Chelsea, and I'll see you next time.